Lewis Hamilton won a thrilling British Grand Prix yesterday, an exciting race from start to finish, and of course once again underlining the close pace between the front three running cars between Mercedes, McLaren, and of course Red Bull. Well, pole sitter George Russell did lead away from Hamilton as the event got underway. An exciting battle soon unfolded between the two Mercedes drivers, with Lewis eventually passing Russell, and of course the McLaren pair of Norris and Oscar Piastri catching up and making mincemeat of Max Verstappen, who fell from 3rd to 5th as the Red Bull was really struggling in the cold temperatures. As the conditions started getting trickier, as in the track getting damper as rain was approaching their track, the McLarens had the pace and of course were leading the race with Lando Norris, who's been great at leading races and of course great at throwing them away. Anyway, not there. Anyway, things got interesting. Cars went to the pits to pit for intermediates. Of course, those who benefited from that situation was Max Verstappen, who pitted a lap earlier, coming up from 5th as it was really slow earlier in the race, going back up to 3rd. Now, things got more interesting when the rain stopped and of course it started getting dry again. Now this meant that Lando Norris pitted a lap later than Lewis Hamilton, allowing Lewis to pass him by 2 seconds as Lando had a really slow stop. And of course, strangely enough, McLaren didn't pit him with the brand new mediums, instead gave him a used soft tyre to cover Hamilton, forgetting about Max Verstappen was actually behind him and of course had pitted for hards at the time. As the lap ticked down, Russell developed a water system issue, forcing him to retire, and Max, who of course pitted on the harder tyre as compared to the used softs of Hamilton and Norris, was catching up to Norris and of course passed him with a few laps to go. Lewis somehow managed to keep position and crossed the line 1.4 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen, and with it sealed the British Grand Prix and of course his first win since Abu Dhabi 2021. Lando Norris finished 3rd for McLaren. Another race McLaren could have won it. I think that's like 4 in a row now. And of course then experience running at the front of the field of course meant that they've lost another potential race win. I mean, I don't know why they didn't use the new mediums on Lando since they used them on Oscar. But then again, it just shows that of course fighting against World Championship winning drivers at the front needs more than just a quick car. Also needs good strategy as well. Oscar Piastri, 4th for McLaren. Carlos Sainz, at least the lucky of the Ferrari drivers of late. Good race for him, finished 5th. Hülkenberg, another brilliant performance in that Haas, driving it to 6th. He scored more points in the last 2 races than Checo Perez has in the last 7. I'm not going to say more about that. Aston Martin, finally, good race for the first time since Barcelona, probably. They've really been slow of late. Outside of that, they haven't scored much points, if any, in the last 3 or 4 races. But at least on home soil and across the street from their factory, they finished a good 7th and 8th, good point position. Williams, obviously, Alex Albon scored a point for you, reliable, finished 9th, and of course Yuki Tsunoda 10th for RB. Sargent actually did quite a good race, finished 11th, just outside the points. Magnussen, pretty much forgot he was in the race along with Daniel Ricciardo. Quite a race, but not bad. Charles Leclerc was once again the unfortunate and lucky driver. I mean, he's pretty much been nowhere this weekend. Hasn't been quick, and of course didn't even make it to Q3. Valtteri Bottas against that Sauber being, well, yeah, much pathetic car really. I don't know what all this got themselves into here. Anyway, we've got Alpine, Esteban Ocon, contrasting weekend compared to the last 4 races they've had. They haven't pretty much had a good weekend. Gasly retired early in the race, actually didn't even start the race, had a gearbox issue after taking on a new power unit. Checo Perez, doing Checo Perez things of late. Of course, they did pit him 10 laps early, just like Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. They pitted too early for the rain, but I mean, if you're running that far back in the field, they're obviously going to use you as a guinea pig to judge if it's safe enough for the person actually doing a job in the car, being Max, whether he should make the right decision or not. So you could say they use him as a big guinea pig just to see how he was going to do in terms of the intermediate tire at that point in the race when the rain was just coming, but not quite that much yet. I was nowhere, finished 17th. Guan Yu Zhou kicks over, of course, and of course, George Russell retired because of that water system thingy issue, and Gasly didn't start. So yeah, those are all the finishers for the race. So there you have it, Lewis Hamilton finally winning a race after quite a while. So much celebration, especially those home soil was pretty much chaos. I mean, we pretty much would have assumed he won the championship, but I mean, I guess he deserved the win. Yeah, he had a good drive, made sure that he kept his tires, didn't degrade his tires after pretty much for softs at the end, and of course, yes, we can all say had that race been a lap longer, Max would have passed. But anyway, we can ifs and buts and maybes. Lewis Hamilton had drove a good race, and after everything that happened, Verstappen still extended the lead on the championship by another 63 points, meaning he has an 84-point lead in the championship. So, yeah, after the triple header, after so much has happened, after Red Bull not being quickest for like 5 races now, Max is still even more ahead in terms of points in the standings. So, we'll wait to see what happens in Hungary. I expect Ferrari to be back there, but we'll wait to have to and see. In the meantime, please let me know what you think in the comments, like and subscribe, and to remember to start your engines.